What makes me mad? Randy's son-in-law works at Coyote Logistics. They do this all day long. They do hundreds of thousands of dollars an hour there. Are you aware of that place? Okay, so they're not a slow place. They go fast. It's a go fast company. So check out what happened. So the other day, this nonsense on Thursday with Randy's what's goings ons. This nonsense got me no place to stay, because basically what happened is I was on my way back to my place and there was a very, very bad vagrant. And the very, very, very bad vagrant had to be violently dealt with. Are you with me on that one?
Yes.
So they called the people that have blue flashing lights on top of their cars. And since I'd already been through that on Wednesday, I didn't feel like going through that again, if you know what I'm saying. So I didn't stay there to answer questions. So I had to go stay at my friend's restaurant for the night. And I'm going to send you the video of that as well if I have an hour. Did you get the video of me at the restaurant?
No.
Well, I'm going to make sure you got it. So here's what happened. So I was able to start hacking away with the Chinese kids' help, hacking away at stuff like getting into the ATG files, which is ATG staff, ATG drivers, all this stuff. I got the Yahoo accounts back, I got the email back, and then all of a sudden, check this out. I've had a holding for Steve's Green Capital Transportation, Steve Capital's transportation wing. I've had that since January of 17 in the Bay Area. And I shit you not, they just called me just now and just contacted me through the email just now as I'm activating this, because the Chinese got to put their money on something. It can't be in a paper bag. It's got to be on paper. You know what I'm saying? So here's what we're doing. I had the vision to open Steve Capital when Cardone Capital was taking off. I opened Steve Capital in Florida first, and then I opened Happy Drivers in Florida. And I've always managed to keep Steve Capital, even though it's in a birdhouse. You can't make fun of my corporate address. Do you understand? No, I'm sorry, it's a doghouse. You can't make fun of my corporate address because there's a dog living in the doghouse that I take care of, a homeless dog that I adopted out of the shelter, that I made sure was not in the shelter. That dog still doing good today. Okay, I have not been back there since 2018, but there's 3 dogs have used that property in 9 years. Okay, and I worked all of 2014 in Miami, in the Miami area, and then I was there in 16. I was there in 18. I was there a little bit in 20. So you with me on that? So this isn't fictitious. I mean, it's pushing the line legally. But guess what? A dog has rights under Florida law. Does a dog not have rights? Fuck, if an alligator and a bear's got rights, and I threatened to litigate this because people were giving me trouble over the dog. I was like, look, let me get this straight. This bear could go do whatever the fuck it wants. The alligator can go do even worse what the fuck it wants. But you're telling me my poor dog can't be around here because y'all don't like my dog? They were like, well, it's not your dog. I said, it is my dog. They're like, well, you adopted the dog. I said, that makes it my dog. Okay? And the dog is an equity partner here at Steve Capital because people invest the money in Steve Capital for the dog to have a place to live. And then pull up the court case I filed in 2018 in Broward County. Go look up that case. I took on truck movers, and won. Let me tell you what they pulled. You know, you keep coming to me telling me that this trucking company's big and that truck, all these big fucks are fucks, right? Well, let me tell you what I did. I'm on the phone with these fucks for hours, for about 3 days recording video, okay? And here's what happened. So they had this truck sold in Florida, in the Tampa area. They were going to ship it to Vietnam out of the port of Houston. The truck was falling apart. The tires were bald. The truck was dangerous. You couldn't even take this thing on the road. They were going to send this truck to Vietnam, to some poor third world country, to people that, they deemed didn't matter, didn't deserve anything. Okay, these people, we're going to do this. So I said, well, you're not only going to not do that to them, you're not going to do this to me, sticking me with this truck that I spent 9 hours coming from Miami to Tampa, and I spent $400 of my money and Theoline Dixon's money to get here to pick up this truck. You're not going to stick me in the state of Florida with this plus a loss of $1,700 and some dollars. So that's $2,100 and some dollars and change to my business that's registered out of Broward County, Florida. So what I did, when they refused to work with me, they refused. They said, we won't give you a dime, a penny until that truck's in Houston. I said, okay, well, let me call you back. So let me call you back on a Friday afternoon to them. They thought that meant that the truck's gonna go get delivered, right? Wrong. So the truck gets taken, the transmitters get shut off, the truck gets taken to the international dealership in Miami, the international dealership, like where they service trucks. And I tell them, you guys are going to fix this truck from pillar to post to new specifications. You're going to do everything on this truck as if it was a brand new truck that you was selling out of your pig pen, I mean dealership here, to a citizen. So they did that. And they're like, well, Mr. Summers, it's going to be almost $6,000. This is high $5,000 and change here. I said, well, that sounds great. Just write that thing on up, okay? And by the way, here's $500 down, pay for this, that, and the other thing. Let's get it done. They said, okay, that sounds great. So I then took all that paperwork. I went right to the Broward County Courthouse Monday morning. I mean, we're talking like at 9:01 a.m. I'm there smiling. I wore a very nice T-shirt. I had my Kmart tie on. Okay, my old Kmart tie, not even a nice Kmart tie. And I got my little Esquire and training badge out, and I went and got in the little line, but I'm wearing a tie. And these people are like, you gots to be kidding me. You're over here on the attorney's side. I said, that's correctables. They said, well, what are you planning on doing? I said, see this paperwork? I'm filing it. I'm filing this case. Okay, and I'm requesting an injunction, and I am putting a lien on this truck, and on top of that, I am holding this truck for 30 days at my property over here at Happy Drivers, where the people are normally happy, but today, this jerk that tried pulling this is going to be very unhappy. And we're seizing the equipment. And I went and seen the nice judge, and they signed some nice papers. And then before 10 a.m., I called up these bozos and said, hey, by the way, when I get done with what I'm doing, I'll consider releasing your truck. So what they did is they picked up the phone, and of course, 8 o'clock in the morning, I went to the Lighthouse Point, Florida Police Department and said, hey, you guys are going to get a report of a stolen truck right around 10 a.m. And by the way, the truck's not stolen. It's over there in the service bay at the dealership, because the Florida Department of Transportation agreed that if they had found this truck on the street, they would have impounded it and they would have fined the fuck out of me. They would have wrote me more tickets than I would have known what to do with. So this endangers my livelihood and endangers the people of the state of Florida are endangered as well. So everyone agreed with that. So then I called the truck movers up. I told them, hey, check this out, guys. You've been served. And they said, well, we're going to call the dealership in Tampa, and we're going to have you arrested. I said, do you need the phone number? I can give it to you. So they did. They did do that. And the nice Tampa police called me. They said, we're going to come get you. I said, let me give you my business address. They said, it's a doghouse. I said, I understand that. It's a very nice doghouse, but it's my doghouse. Okay? It also has a big dog living in it, so be very careful when you come here to arrest me. Okay? All right? And leave the homeowner alone while you're here too. So, bottom line is, I said, before you get going, just let me have you talk to the Lighthouse Point, Florida police, because they could probably save you the trouble, because they're standing here. They said, oh, this is going to be joyous. I said, it sure is, and y'all's on camera. So they said, hey, we're going to arrest him. And the police in Lighthouse Point said, no, you're not. He had you guys served. He did it legally. He has the truck held. He has a lien filed. There's a court date in 29 days. And for now, it's his possession, and there's nothing you all can legally do about it. Now, listen to me. If there is one, just listen up. If there is one iota of a problem with the first wave of trucks, meaning with Super Ego or whoever these other group of trucks are on the first wave, because it's my freight, and it's my freight that Kevin stole, that I'm stealing back, that I'm taking over to the Ukrainian freight brokerage in Elk Grove Village, the same people that live in Northbrook that I've been trying to get Randy to go visit in person for weeks and months, okay? So they're going to run the freight. They're going to give me my own freight. And then I'm going to stick my freight in them trucks with my drivers, and then we all get a percentage. Now, the first time this guy tries any Humpty Dumpty stuff, he'll be the next case of truck movers. But it won't be one. It'll be a lot of trucks, all of them. And they'll be in Guatemala's court. They won't be in Crook County's court, okay? So in Guatemala court, you don't want to be there unless you speak Spanish, okay, and are on the payroll. So, comprende? You understand where this is going? I'm not some Charlie Joe dumb fuck off some street corner here. See, here's the thing. Ivan wouldn't be qualified to wipe down my coffee cup. You're Ivan, okay? He has no idea what he could have got in on had he just been a good person. But see, being a good person's not in his nature, okay? Ask me when the last time I paid rent on my California property that I just activated for the investment fund. Ask me the last time I paid rent over there. Go ahead and ask me. We're on camera. Ask me.
So when did you pay that?
So when's the last time I paid rent? It was 2020. Okay? Right before the plague set in. Because in 2017, there was some poor woman in a walker trying to get across the street there. Okay, desperately struggling. And it's very dangerous where this property is located. And guess who got out and physically actually carried her over and across? And I was a lot stronger in 2017. I was a beast. Okay? And here's Byron right behind me. Okay, my charge at the time, my co-custody 17-year-old on the loose, and I love it. So here's the thing. You cannot beat the people. They can try, but they will not beat the people. Do you know when that case went to trial? It didn't go to trial with truck movers. You know what happened? Truck movers paid me. They paid for every single repair of that truck. Let me keep going. They paid for every single repair on that truck. They couldn't get it released from the dealership because I told the dealership to put a lien on it as well. Okay? So the dealership was at the next day there at court too, next couple of days, putting their lien on it as well. So dealership got paid, I got paid, and then I put a note in that truck, and I even had it typed up in Vietnamese. And it said, hey, to the very nice people in Vietnam that are going to end up having this pre-owned, older international cockroach that's no longer a cockroach, that's now a very nice truck that's at least to standards. I hope you have a very successful time with it. I hope it does well for you, and I hope it takes you and whatever you're going to do somewhere nice. A couple years later, I get an email from Vietnam, and it's the Vietnamese truck owner character, nice trucking company people, and they're my friend today. Now, guess what? Joe Biden just went there and opened up this new trade thing where we're going to have trade with Vietnam. So this whole scam or this whole structure, the whole European O system that y'all been running and making trillions with, I feel like taking that to Vietnam and teaching them people as well, since I'm already going to be in China to begin with. The Chinese and the Vietnamese don't get along anyway. They don't listen to each other also. So, look, like I said, sending me to Parking Lot Minister Law School was one of the best things, the biggest mistake Calvary Fake Chapel ever did in their entire reign of terror, and one of the best experiences for society, okay? I love what John Mendoza said. Well, what do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's going to become like some kind of a litigator? Do you think he's going to put me out of business? Hey, John, you're not here no more, and I am, and I love what Randy said the other day. Well, Ed's not a litigator? Yeah? Really? Got an MIT law degree, or no, I'm sorry, a degree from MIT, a degree from Harvard Law School. And here I am from, what do they call where I went to law school? At a kangaroo law school in a parking lot. Oh, I'm sorry, an activist law school in a parking lot in Compton, California. It's not a parking lot, it's in a tent. Okay, give us proper respect of our tent. Okay, but I'll tell you, Truck Movers, the biggest truck moving company in the United States, and check this out, the trucking group. Listen to this, where this is going. The trucking group that was buying and selling those trucks through their dealership group, when they found out what they almost got stuck with, the people that was supposed to. So we have a segment of truck business now that we're going to have in Wisconsin. Let me explain this. It's a far lower standard of technical abilities doing truck moving because it's all set up. I don't need any specialists. I don't need any technology people. I don't need people that thoroughly know what they're doing. I just have a. You remember I've been talking about the pack of drivers that hang around and move trucks when they're available?
Right.
And then if there's other freight runs available, they do them too.
Right.
Okay, it's done. So Randy's got to put in $1,000. I'm going to save this video. So he may have to watch this 2 or 3 times. In fact, I'm going to make sure he does watch. I'm going to try to upload it now. And let me call you back. Hang on. Let me show your phone to the camera so they don't think I'm making this up. Be like, oh, that wasn't really Drina on the phone. That was one of Steve's cohorts or one of Steve's people on Steve's payroll. Kevin has a whole ton of people on his payroll. All right. So I would never trust a Kevin video. Kevin could show you a video that he's talking to Barack Obama, and it would be Barack Obama, but it wouldn't be the one that was president. It would be a guy smoking a rock, playing Obama behind a garage somewhere. Okay. All right. Would be Kevin's Barack Obama. All right. Okay. Kevin could tell you that he's partying with Donald Trump, and it would be a big blonde guy named Donald who's trumping around, probably in a dress, jumping around on crystal meth somewhere. All right. That would be Kevin's version of Donald Trump.
Kevin so much.
Oh yes, Kevin is fantastic. Now this gets better. Check out yesterday's newspaper. I went and got the Sun-Times. Check this out. They got the high school vice principal, this big educated character, running loose. This big giant character, supposed to be a big giant character, big society liberal character. Okay, got all this money. He's loose in a high-rise building in downtown Chicago. He's doing crystal meth, and he's running loose in the building, attacking people, and somebody shot him. It was in yesterday's Sun-Times. And now they're trying to complain like this was something bad that happened.
Right.
Well, when you're running around, I mean, he tried to kill the doorman. I mean, what do you think's going to happen?
Right. Makes sense.
So, like I said, society has lost its mind. Okay, Kevin is evil, and these freight accounts that we're getting, once again, let's go over the order. They're coming back to me. They're going over there to the Ukrainian brokerage. The Ukrainian brokerage is going to broker the accounts between themselves and my team trucks or any other trucks I designate, and that's how we're going to handle this. And that's the end of this. All right?
All right.
And yeah, I do this all day long without a script because I believe in what I'm doing because I know what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing it. All right? Let me call you back. All right. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was Drina and how we're going to deal with this whole situation here.